Hey, Charlotte Reed here. Welcome to the ranch. We're just down here in the jungle looking for some cows to sick the dogs on so that they can get out of the way so that the goats can come back here and eat some of the weeds that you see around here. Anyway, so I just finished a blog post for you. I was thinking about a Facebook post that a friend talked about a bleeding head wound, how she went to the emergency room and got stitches, and it was a traumatic experience for her daughter. And it was totally unnecessary. And so I totally didn't agree with it. But you know what? Here's a disclaimer. If you have a serious emergency medical condition, go to the emergency room, for crying out loud. You know what? If I have a broken bone, I'm going to go to the emergency room. If I have a huge bleeding problem that really needs some professional attention, I'm going to go seek medical help, okay? But for the small things that happen in your home, like I talk about in this post that goes with this video, about how my son, when he was 2, he was on his rocking chair. He's listened to this story because I just told him this story yesterday. The post on Facebook reminded me that when he was 2, he was riding his wooden rocking horse, and he flipped over backwards and gouged his head, a huge hole in his head, the back of his head, on the wooden stairs that have a little tile, a slate tile edge on the edge of them. It was sharp and pokey. Anyway, gouged hole, bleeding head wound, and at first my thought was run to town, take him to the hospital, go to the doctor, something, get help. And then the thought came to me, you know how to take care of this, you have the skills and the tools, you can do it. And I was filled with peace and comfort, and I knew immediately that I could take care of this issue in our own home. So I grabbed my oils, and I used geranium to stop the bleeding of his head wound. That it was at least an inch and a half wide and like over an inch deep. It was pretty bad, like scary. Like it should have had stitches, but instead I stayed home. I used my oils, and he was still crying, so I was able to hold him and comfort him, and used geranium, a couple drops, and then a couple drops after the blood stopped. The geranium will stop the bleeding. Used a couple drops of Melaleuca essential oil, also called tea tree oil, to disinfect. Then I used helichrysum essential oil to cleanse, clarify, heal the wound, basically. And at the time, that's all I knew how to do. And so I did. And then I put, thanks to my husband in the peanut gallery, read the story to see what happens, why he was in there eating lunch, and suddenly he's like, use a butterfly bandage. So I put a butterfly bandage in. It didn't stay very long because his hair was kind of oily, and in hair, it's not going to stick well. But I used it for a little while, and the next day, his wound looked miraculously better. It was amazing. I felt so empowered, and now, 3 years later, I found his little tiny scar. It's really, really small and tiny where the hair doesn't grow, just this tiny little scar, and it is pretty. As far as scars go. But now I know I would have added Immortelle to make that scar really disappear even further and have the hair grow back too. But anyway, absolutely empowering to be able to take care of that issue in our own home, huh, buddy? That was very cool. So I just want to share with you that if you have a huge major issue, you know what? Go to the hospital, go to the doctor. But for the smaller things that you feel like you could take care of in your own home, let me show you the tools and the skills. Let me teach you how. Because you know what? The next time we had an issue was my husband when he got bit on the hand by the dog, and I put 3 stitches in there. I didn't even hesitate. You know what? Because I knew I had the stuff to take care of that, and I can do that in my own home. And that is empowering. So go to the link below this video so that I can teach you and share with you how I take care of my own family, including bleeding head wounds, from the comforts of our own home. Charlotte Reed, and my arm's getting tired, and we're about to head out of the mosquito-infested jungle. Okay, we'll see you up top, and I love you. Bye-bye.